Yeah, okay. So, hello, my name is Alberto Guerrero Montilla. Sorry, I cannot say that with an English modulation accent. I'm the CEO and founder of EOS Venezuela. And today, I want to talk how our vision of the technology of blockchain and crypto works in our country. So, you might have heard about what is going on in Venezuela. Right now, in the recent years, we've become the headlines for crisis, from political, social, financial, economic, and now the humanitarian crisis that we suffer. To make this idea more relatable, so you pretty much understand what we see in blockchain for us, for our future, and for the region, is to tell you how is the normal life of someone in Venezuela. So, sorry, let me just check. Okay, great. So this is my country right now. You wake up in the morning and pretty much the first thing that you thought is that you just lost about 8 to 15% of the value of your money, because that's what hyperinflation does to you in a place like in Venezuela. Then you get out, you pretty much try to go to work or do your life, and you know that you're going to lose. There's going to be a shutdown of the electricity every single day, nationwide, from 45 minutes to 3 hours, up to 8 hours, and now we hold the record of 3.5 days. And this is pretty much the conditions that you have to try to live. You go to a supermarket, and then you're going to encounter 3 issues to the minimum. First, everything is too expensive. Right now in Venezuela, the minimum wage is about $9 a month. And this is the amount of money that you need to use to buy one chicken, if you find the chicken. So you have to deal with just an inconvenient currency, fiat currency. There's no local production. The industry in Venezuela just got so down the spiral with this economic system, I guess, that we have no production. So there's no food, there's no products. And that's one of the reasons that now the government is just rationing. So you go to a supermarket, and first you have to have the money that pretty much no one has. Then try to find the product, and even if you find it, then you cannot just buy it, whatever your family or your conditions are asking you to. So we see blockchain technology and crypto as not like an investment tool. It's not about speculation. For us, it's just an actual tool for fight for freedom. What we have in Venezuela is just restrictions to what you will call normal lives. And that's what we see here. It's just an actual tool to fight the problems that we have. Then earlier this year, the Human Rights Watch reported that in Venezuela, for the first time over decades, we start to have a rise in the maternal mortality, infant mortality, and now people are dying from diseases that we long ago declared extinct in our country, like measles, tuberculosis, or malaria. That's the point that we all wake up. Even international community, friends, you guys, everyone started to ask, how can we help? How can we do something for Venezuela? Now, how can you help if the main challenge is that we are close to the rest of the world? In Venezuela right now, there's no way that you can send or receive money from outside. There's absolutely no communications from our banks to the outside world. There's an absolutely strict control of the trading of our currencies, and the government has the most bureaucratic system ever to just let you down and try to keep you within the barriers of the country. So we just got the idea of, if we know that fiat and traditional banking is not working, we know the answer. We know that crypto and blockchain is just moving money from everywhere to anywhere almost instantly, compared at least with normal banks and what we are used to it. So we said, you know what, let's do it. Let's try to help people. Let's build a project, and help people sounds easier than what actually is. You have an idea, say, okay, we need people that need money, we try to find the money, we give them the money. Doesn't actually quite work like that. So By that time that we started Family EOS, Dan Larimer just published the Universal Basic Income Proposal. And we thought, okay, this is nice. This is a nice argument. What if we take those ideas to argue that we can help people, financial aid, but the real reason that we want to do this is to actually plant the seed for mass adoption of a blockchain economy in a place that will actually be more beneficial than what it is right now. So we set up the one basic income account, and we thought, you know what? The beauty of blockchain is everything's public. EOS IO mainnet is just an amazing resource. I don't have to even try to be open or transparent because the technology, the architecture already is. So everyone can just follow and see where the money is going, from where, with messages. A lot of people, like, we actually are humbly grateful to all of you because Family EOS actually works and exists because of you. Because this amazing EOS community just came to us and asked, like, hey, Alberto, how can we help? How can we help? Can I pitch in some money, EOS, whatever? And that was pretty much what it is. An open account that everybody could just send money, and then with that we will fund this program to help poor families in Venezuela to survive the terrible conditions that we have. So first, we thought the border between Brazil and Venezuela. We choose a location called Paracaima, Santa Elena Guairén, and we started small because we didn't have that many funds by that time. So we started with 20, 30 families, and it was a learning process. It was like, okay, we're going to teach you what this is, because it's pretty much coming to someone that haven't had the opportunity to have a modern financial service since ever, and now telling that you have it all in your smartphone. That was a game changer. And that's pretty much today our mission and our goal, is just educate people to use something that already exists, that is there. Now, what we understood from our first experiment is the idea of a challenge. A challenge for us is more like a situation that you learn from and adapt, because, I mean, that's the only way to survive. So we understood something. We want to help people, but maybe the Amazonian jungle is not the best way to do it. They're not the best place because they don't have internet reliable access, you know? So it's like, okay, yeah, we want to help. Again, it's not that easy. So let's learn and adapt. And for the second phase of the program, we said, let's go to a bigger area. Let's go to a metropolitan area in the Midwest of the country that have a better infrastructure, better communications with the rest of the cities. It's a good place to start. And we got much more funds, we got much more help, and we tried to do it better. So we got a social worker that helped us to plan how we would choose the families, what should be the profile of them, how to make these requirements or conditions for people that we actually can help and be more efficient to it. Always thinking that the premise of this project is promote and ensure that a blockchain-based economy in Venezuela is possible from the bottom up. This second part of the project was, for us, a total success. We got enough funds to cap about 100 and something families, 104 families. More than 450 people right now in Venezuela are surviving week a week thanks to these kind of donations. So we thought, wow, this is big. We got grandmas, moms, uncles and aunts to use something that they have no idea for the first time. Just starting for the premise like, finally you're going to be free. Finally you will use this money as you please, as you want, from your cell phone without thinking to go to the bank or if the government closed the ATM, etc., etc. The most amazing thing is when we start to see the development of this. Because if we think that what we want is to actually people adopt this as the regular basis economy, we need to see how the behavior evolves. So we got coverage from the international media. That's an Associated Press reportage that did about what we're doing in Venezuela, interviewing families, interviewing people. And the pretty thing is like naturally, just before the reportage, we have all the families, all the people in one WhatsApp group. And then we start to see how they start to create their own local economy based on crypto. They all receive cryptocurrency every week. And then they start to say like, hey, I'm cleaning houses, but if you want, you can pay me in crypto. One person. Then the other, oh, family, blah, 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 is doing pasta sauce, you can pay me in crypto. And then that is what we think that is the actual point of this project. Is people starting to see these tools as something that you can use without being a technical geek. And that's what we're working since now. So something else that we learn and adapt from is like, okay, cool, we want to help. We want these people to use it. But the learning curve for someone like 60, 50 years old plus is difficult. So yeah, we explained to grandmas how to send a crypto as if it was an SMS, but it was difficult for them to grasp these kind of concepts. So now in our third phase that we just launched, we are focusing on youth, on students. We believe, of course, that the future of a place relies on the newer generations. Right now, Venezuela is at a critical point that young people doesn't have an idea of future. You don't have anything to wish for because nothing is working. So we're trying to create this environment for young people to adopt it, to take it, to use it, and probably be the new generation of professionals, entrepreneurs, and probably educators of this technology. And that's what we wish for what is going to be the future of Family EOS. Again, thank you all, because this is possible for you. Just a little comment. But I think what we see now in a holistic way is the major revelation of what we are doing in Venezuela. It's like you don't have to convince people when you show them a tech that is an actual solution for the problems. If you are in the US, Australia, Europe, whatever other developed nation, you have to convince people to quit to something that is already kind of working for you without, critics aside. It is working. You have banks, you have a traditional financial system that is working for you. For us, no, we haven't had that. So for us, it's not about like an alternative. It's about an actual solution. It's like, you have the problem, here's the tool, now use it. So what we have is the biggest opportunity ever in Latin America. Sorry. Every time that we talk about crypto and blockchain technology, what is the arguments that we use? Oh, well, it's going to be good for a place with censorship. We got that. It's going to be good in a place with hyperinflation. We got that. It's going to be good in a place that is undeveloped and with a lot of opportunities. We got that. That's Latin America. This is the place that actually all these technologies and ideas are the most relevant ever. We have a special opportunity to use the biggest lab ever on Earth to make all the process and all the projects to have a real massive blockchain-based economy or ecosystem. So I was asked by my dear friends to talk about the state of the blockchain in Latin America. But I think there's a better question than that one. That is, why the future of blockchain is in Latin America? I mean, when we see news like this all the time, oh, banks in Latin America, now they want to use blockchain. Venezuelan government is trying to push for an oil-backed cryptocurrency. Then we have all the trendies and the excitement of cryptocurrency and blockchain in Latin America. That's for real. That's what we want. That's what we want to promote. Here is just easier for the builders, for developers, for entrepreneurs. Here is your ground zero to build the world that we want. So, to talk more about like the market, like why? Okay, cool, sounds pretty, but like, what can we do here? Well, this is about like 630 plus million people, so decent sized market. You have 33 nations pretty much under the same language, with the exception of Brazil, but we love each other, so everything's fine. And we have 65% of our population unbanked. So imagine, more than half of everyone living in this piece of continent has no access to pretty much everything that can be on the blockchain in seconds. For us, moving capitals from one place to another is a challenge. And that's exactly what the fundamental behavior of this technology can provide to us. So this is when EOS comes as a natural choice for us. In Venezuela, in Family EOS, in all our projects, what we love about EOS is the perfect technology for our necessities. We cannot afford to pay $1, $2 in a transaction fee when we are sending just $10. That's the reality of Latin America. We are still a developing market that we are just using, microtransactions to do everything. And that, in the traditional banking system, is very complicated and very expensive. And this is where this technology becomes the perfect DAT platform to build the future that we want, taking in mind Latin America and what we have here. The remittance services. Latin America represents about $85 billion a year with an annual growth of 10%, and it's just about moving money from one place to another because you have to send money to your family. That's inherently what we are doing with blockchain and crypto. We just have the perfect tool for an 85 billion market right here waiting for you. It's not like no one is doing it, but I'm just saying that this is an opportunity that is just so natural that we can just exploit. Sorry. Oh. Okay, here. So, faster adoption. Why Latin America? Because here people will use your dApps right away because they are solution to their problems. So here's not a convincing thing. Here, they will just say, oh, that can solve my problem, I'm gonna use it right away. The curve of adoption here in Latin America for any dApp to find users is just much quicker than Europe, than the United States. I'm not gonna say Asia because, well, yeah, you are like a lot. But here is very, very interesting. Blockchain without users is just a tech with no value. Everything that you can build, here you have a potential users. We have all the necessities, we have all the needs, we have all the voids. We just need the tools. We just need you to build the things that we can use. Thank you so much. Any question?
So, do you need constant donations, or is the economy starting to be self-sustainable? Do you guys rely on a stream of donations, or are you on constant donations? O sea, necesitas que te estén mandando. No, no hables portugués. Sí, sí. Bueno, que se necesitan donaciones constantes. ¿O ya es autosustentable?
Well, so this is the thing. We started with the premise of we want to help. We don't know where this is going, but we know the technology that can do something. So in the beginning, it was these people sending money. VPs, friends saying, hey, I'm going to send some EOS. Great, EOS Detroit donate 1 day of their production. EOS Nation send money. Like, a lot of people help. Now, the thing to actually get donations all the time so we can keep it in the long term is pretty much, I guess, a challenge. Now, what I think is we have built an idea to keep evolving, and that's what the donor will be interested in. So I think that as long as we can keep promising results, showing results, the donors will probably come. And with a bull market, maybe, we will get more funds.
So you mentioned a lot that the electricity doesn't work, the markets don't work, pretty much everything doesn't work, but you didn't mention the internet.
Yeah.
You obviously need that to make transactions and to use the blockchain, so how does that work?
So this is the dichotomy or the weird thing about Latin America. We don't have electricity, we don't have money, but now we have satellite internet. So in Venezuela right now, you can find plans to like get internet no matter what the situation with electricity for $10, $12, $15. So that's something that is kind of making it work right now. And people are just relying more and more into mobiles, like mobile internet. Because when the electricity goes down, still certain operators of mobile operators still works. And that's kind of like the economy or the behavior of the user is moving towards your cell phone all the time and pretty much figuring out how to make it.
A question here. You mentioned the growth and the number of people in Latin America, and it's huge for the blockchain opportunity for adoption. But I think that fits a lot for idealists, and a lot of people are in blockchain because of speculation and money. And I've been told you can't have a big conference, for example, in Latin America. No one comes. It's got to be in Asia. It's got to be in Europe. It's got to be in the United States. So what can the outside world do to bring money and important people and large conferences, for example, to Latin America? Because there's this perception that, yeah, that's great. You have all these unbacked people, but they don't have any money. So how can we get investment, enterprise, all that kind of stuff that's required for this massive growth? It's just the people. How do we bring the money?
Yeah. Well, I think that the key for that is the model that we see now that, for example, many dApps on the blockchain, what you really need to make that dApp successful is users. Just usage, people that log in and use it. And just because of that, works. That was actually the success of Steemit in Venezuela. At some point in Steemit, we were about 12% of the entire user base was Venezuelan. And we love it and a lot. And every time that now we show certain social dApp or something that people can use just for fun without the requirement to invest or to put some money, it goes quick. And right now what we're doing is just contacting companies, people that just need the traffic. It's a currency that you can exploit for free. You just need attention, entertainment, time, usage. And that's something that we can give you on loads. We don't have the money to invest, but we can use everything that you build. And the internet is it's becoming our realm of behave, our new life, our oasis. And I think that is what we need to exploit here in this region.
Great. Thank you so much, Alberto.